Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, the Secretary of State and two kids that will blow you away. Andy Thompson has the rundown.
Coming up, we have Dean Hiller, a candidate for Congress, and we have two young Chataquans, Nicole Piechocki and Sam Zabell, ages 12 and 7.
And on the Power Pundit panel today, Dick Gammick, Bilyeu, and Anjeanette Damon. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
Here at the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, water resources come from fresh, clean groundwater, approved by state permits. The water is pumped from wells to million-gallon storage tanks and then distributed to TRI companies. Another amenity is our investment in a state-of-the-art wastewater treatment plant. This disposal system converts waste to clean water for industrial applications. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevada.
When making your decision as where to play golf, consider the resort at Red Hawk. You know you have made the right choice the moment you arrive. The friendly staff welcomes you to our award-winning pro shop. You know you've made the right decision on the first tee. The Lakes course is in the best condition in years. You know you've made the right choice after you've played 18 holes. The resort at Red Hawk, the right choice.
Nevada Newsmakers is sponsored in part by the Nevada Beer Wholesalers Association.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and Social Security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
So, who do you use for workers' comp?
Pro Group Management.
Ah, I've heard some good things about them.
You bet. Employee background checks, safety training, claim seminars. Oh, and here's the great part. If you have an issue, they work for you, not against you.
Sounds perfect. And expensive.
Well, that's the best part. They saved me 30%. I've heard they've saved others 50%.
Works for me. Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And we welcome to the program Nevada's Secretary of State, Dean Hiller, who's running for Congress in 2006. You know, this race has started so early.
It has.
Okay,
too early.
Last time you were on the show talking about this, we asked you, what your positions were. And the reasons why you were running.
Right.
And you said you were going to be thinking about those.
Sure.
So where are we now?
Still got a year.
Come on. I mean, why are you running?
No,
you're not just running for the job.
Give you all the secrets that I have at this point. But no, give me a question. I'll answer your question if I have the ability to answer the question.
Why are you running for Congress?
Why am I running for Congress? Well, for a lot of reasons. Frankly, I can give you a list of reasons. I believe that every American ought to learn to speak English. I think that if you have problems in our educational system, you got to have somebody there that understands the problems and the issues, and you need to fix those. I have four children. I'll tell you right now, deficit problems, trade deficits. Trade deficits are huge. Budget deficits are huge issues.
Okay, let's be a little specific here. Okay. So education. What do you want to fix with education?
I think there's too much money, too much control out of Washington. I think that money needs to come down to the local areas. I think teachers, parents need to be more involved in the education process. And we keep moving. We keep putting layers after layers after layers, and the No Child Left Behind. I mean, how many schools in Nevada is failing the No Child Left Behind requirements here in the state of Nevada. And I
so
think,
what are you going to do to fix that?
But the issue is to be able to talk to leadership, be able to work in Washington with your colleagues and talk to them. How do we get this money down to the local level? Instead of building bigger and bigger bureaucracies back in Washington, D.C. to control the school districts here in Clark County and Washoe County, how can we figure out how to get that money down here to the local areas? So you've got to be part of those discussions, and you need to elect people that have that particular attitude.
Okay, let's talk specifically. The Central American Free Trade Act just passed the House by 2 votes.
Correct.
Now, if you were a congressman, how would you have voted on that?
I would have supported it.
You would have supported it?
I would have supported it.
Let me ask you another thing. In 2003, Kenny Gwynn's proposed record tax hike of $830 million just split the Republican Party.
Right.
You were the Secretary of State, so you stayed out of the fray. So
not necessarily. I mean, I did get involved. When there were fee increases in my office, to both committees on taxation, I sent them both a letter opposing the fee increases that were slated for the Secretary of State's office.
How do you feel about the overall record tax hike of $830 million? Would have you supported that?
I would have had a hard time supporting it, and I'll tell you why. Back in 1991, when Bob Miller was governor, and they had a similar situation where they had a record tax increase and a record budget increase. And at that time, I voted both against those taxes and against the budget itself. So I have a hard time believing that in 2001 my position would have changed.
Okay.
All right. Now, you've come out against basically the president's current plan with No Child Left Behind.
No, I didn't say I was opposed to it. I just said we need to get some money into the local district so that we can achieve the requirements and the accountability that's required by it.
Okay. And then you mentioned deficits. You have concerns about deficits. Okay, I have been concerned. I am a fiscally conservative person, and I am very concerned about the record debt that this federal government is running. How do you feel about the deficits?
How do I feel? I think they're two of the biggest problems here in the state. Obviously, we have a war in Iraq, and that's huge. I think our borders are huge issues. But deficits, trade deficits, and budget deficits are big issues. I take a couple of my opponents, for example, that oppose all the revenues, but they vote for all the spending in the legislature, and I think that that's a little bit intellectually dishonest, not only on a local level, but also at a federal level. You can't continue to vote for more and more spending and then not cover the revenues for the spending that you just voted for. You got to be intellectually honest in this process, and that is we have a spending problem in this state and in this country. We don't have revenue problems. I was just sitting on the Board of Examiners with the Governor and Attorney Generals. We just sent $300 million back to the people through the DMV rebates. It's not a revenue issue that we have in this state. It's a spending issue. And not only is it a problem here in this state, but it's also a problem at the federal level.
Oh, okay. I'm going to flip away. Okay. You know, where are you going to cut in the state? If you had the option.
Well, give me the banter of or the mantle of governor, and I'd be happy to talk about some of those changes. But what I'm saying is that I support Tabor. I think Tabor is a very good idea, the direction that that's going to go. I think anything that restricts that kind of government growth. I mean, we had the largest budget increase, during the last legislative session, and one of my opponents voted for it, and I assume that both of them probably would have supported that very, very large budget increase.
Sharon Ingle would have.
She did. She voted for every major spending bill during the legislative session.
Do you think you're going to be able to go to the Republican base and out fiscally conservative her?
I'll tell you.
I mean, she is so far in that direction.
That's why you like Tabor.
And the Club for Growth has provided the bulk of her funding.
Right. And I think I find that entertaining. I mean, if you take a look at her reports, she takes 95% of her money from outside the state. 95% of the money that I raise comes from in the state. Now, the question the voters have to answer, the decision that they will have, do they want someone who's supported by special interests outside the state or someone who supports Nevada interests?
Are those special Nevada interests, is that what?
Well, they come from individuals. Remember, in a federal race, you don't get money from corporations, you don't get money from businesses, you get them from individuals. So the fact that I've raised over $250,000 from individuals here inside the state of Nevada, 95% of my money, versus Sharon, who gets 95% of her money outside the state of Nevada, I think that's a pretty a solid message there.
Okay, let's talk about
you know what? We're out of time. I apologize. We're out of time. We would love to have you come back many times more before we get to the primaries.
Okay.
But it's always a pleasure to see you. Dean Heller, Secretary of State. We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
My family started this business 27 years ago.
We work hard to serve our customers and our community.
But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof. Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%, lobby for your interests, and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
Reno's best dining values are all at one casino, the Pepper Mill. You can enjoy great savings on our popular specials. Pepper Mill's coffee shop offers daily lunch specials, low-carb dining, and all your favorite comfort foods. You'll find sensational lunch specials featuring Reno's freshest seafood, sushi, pasta, and more at Oceano. And early bird specials at Reno's Premier Steakhouse and Romanza Ristorante Italiano. The best values are at the Pepper Mill. Where are you dining?
Thanks to an ongoing commitment by America's mining companies, more than 2 million acres already have been reclaimed. To learn more about reclamation or other aspects of mining, visit nma.org. The National Mining Association.
Come join the fun on Saturday, August 20th at the 5th Annual Ricky Woodring Memorial Fund and Scholarship Golf Tournament. It's an 18-hole, 4-person scramble with food and fun at the beautiful Arrow Creek Golf Club. The entrance fee of $130 includes green fees, golf cart, continental breakfast, lunch, and snacks with raffle and silent auction. All proceeds to benefit the Ricky Woodring Memorial Fund and the Galena High Athletic Program. A hole-in-one wins a 2005 Ford Mustang, compliments of Jones West Ford. It's a day of golf, food, fun, and prizes. Call 851-7454 now to reserve your spot.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And as we continue our hard-hitting interviews today, we welcome to the program Nicole Piechocki, who's age 12 and is her third year in Young Chautauqua. And she portrays Dr. Mary Edwards Walker, Civil War surgeon, still the only woman ever to have received the Congressional Medal of Honor. And Sam Zabell, who's age 7, and he's a second-grade homeschooler with Twin Ridges Charter School, and he portrays the 26th President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt. Let's start with you, Sam. I read an article in the newspaper, in the Reno Gazette-Journal, about you, and that you had picked from several different historical characters who you wanted to play. Who were some of the other characters you were considering?
Well, for that, I can't really remember it right now.
Okay, well, why did you like President Roosevelt?
Well, he led a very interesting life, and was leader of the Rough Riders, a cow ranger in the Dakotas, and he was also president, and that seems like an interesting life to me.
He's actually one of my favorite presidents because of the starting of the Forest Service as well as the National Wildlife Refuge System, right?
Right.
Yeah. And now you picked a very neat lady, the only woman still to have won the Congressional Medal of Honor. Why did you choose this woman?
Well, after weeks and weeks and weeks of research, I was kind of leaning towards this one woman who, for fun, shot Tories. And
that's illegal now, isn't it?
I believe
okay.
And then I came across this person, and I went, wow, she's really cool, and she fit into the theme so well that I just decided to do her.
What kind of research do you guys do to look into the characters and understand kind of their persona and then how you actually portray them?
Well, for one thing, there's a lot of stuff you can find on the internet and books, especially biographies and autobiographies. Also documentaries on TV like A&E.
Oh, very cool.
Sam, how do you research?
Well, first I read some kid books to get an idea of what he did in his life. And then you start trying to get some stories, like the teddy bear or becoming president. And we also went to the Theodore Roosevelt Association website online, and they have good pictures of Theodore Roosevelt quotes.
Okay, so most kids your age are at home playing video games, and I spent the weekend with Sean and Cody, who are 5 and 11, and they like their video games. This is something that most kids your age don't do. What made you interested in history?
Yeah. Well, my Girl Scout troop actually won this award, and we went to a PBS award ceremony, and there were kids doing young Chautauqua performances. I think it was like a bicentennial theme. And I saw it and I went, whoa, that's really cool. And so then I got involved, and before I hadn't really been interested in like history that much, but now I'm like, history, cool! So.
Now, Sam, do you practice in front of the mirror or something like that to practice what you're going to say at the speech?
Well, I practiced in front of my mom and dad, but I never really did practice in front of a mirror.
Now, what's it like when you've got the big crowd of people at the Young Chautauqua? Does that make you nervous, or are you comfortable answering their questions?
Well, I'm comfortable being up there answering questions. For me, it's pretty fun.
You're not looking at him as my replacement, are you?
Well, it could be down the road here.
He's got the potential.
I would say so.
He's almost as tall as me, too.
Well, that goes without saying. Well, I think you guys are terrific, and I read the article about the Young Chautauqua program, and I was just curious to meet young people who had this great interest in history, and I think it's fabulous, and good luck to you both. Do you have new characters that you plan to play in the near future?
Well, we don't really know what the theme is next year, but there's this Holocaust exhibit that's coming to Reno, and I volunteered to do that, so I'm researching Anne Frank.
Oh, very cool.
And you got any future plans here, Sam?
Well, I'm not sure what the theme is either, but I'm thinking about doing Roy Chapman Andrews.
And who is he?
Well, he found fossils in Outer Mongolia, and I think he was, like Theodore Roosevelt, a very interesting character.
Well, I think you two
always carried a knife and a revolver.
He's just doing it for the props.
I think our DA does the same thing here.
No, I'm not.
Well, listen, thank you both for coming on here, and we'll look forward to hearing more from you next year in the Young Chautauqua program.
Yeah.
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
Since its creation more than a decade ago, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has focused on 3 goals: preserving water quality, improving water conservation in Southern Nevada, and meeting the community's current and future water needs. Through thoughtful planning, responsible management, and collaboration, it's succeeding. As we move into the 21st century, the authority continues to embrace sustainable water development and efficient water use. That's our promise to Nevada.
When making your decision as where to play golf, consider the resort at Red Hawk. You know you have made the right choice the moment you arrive. The friendly staff welcomes you to our award-winning pro shop. You know you've made the right decision on the first tee. The Lakes course is in the best condition in years. You know you've made the right choice after you've played 18 holes. The resort at Red Hawk, the right choice.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seem to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? Yeah, they do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and Social Security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, those kids were something else.
Those were cute, very cute. I'm impressed. I got to read more. I'm history decline or something. Yeah.
We're joined by our Power Pundit panel today. Bilyeu is here.
Morning.
And we also have Anjeanette Damon, who's the Capital reporter for the Reno Gazette-Journal, and Dick Gammick, Washoe County District Attorney. And we have a photograph of Mr. Gammick from this weekend where he was featured in Hot August Nights. And as usual, nice hat as well.
Yeah. Man, nice color of a car there, too.
It's Hot August Nights finally wrapped yesterday. Outstanding attendance, very few problems, just a tremendous event this year.
Not a security downtown. We were downtown on Friday for dinner, and I'm not surprised there wasn't any problems. I mean, you couldn't move without bumping. Not that it was, forceful, but just the presence was there. Wanted to start out, Anjeanette, with the interview just now with Dean Heller. It drives me crazy when politicians complain all the time about how expensive media is and they don't get the coverage, and then you invite people onto a program like this where they have, 5 or 6 minutes, sometimes a little bit more, to expound on their thoughts, their philosophies, whatever, at no cost to them. They don't answer questions. What's going on here?
Well, that's a perennial complaint, and you're going to have that through the campaign, I think. I mean, it's difficult to get people to focus on the issues. It's really early right now. We just saw an editorial in the Reno Gazette-Journal about the governor's race, how they're sniping at each other rather than talking about the issues. And I think that'll probably carry on throughout the campaign. It's a disappointment, certainly.
It's very unfortunate because you want them to get onto the issues and get off each other, but the ones who seem to get the dirtiest are the ones that win. Yeah. So electorate out there, wake up. Let's get to the issues. Let's get off the sniping and the gutter fighting.
What always amuses me is, of course, the media always wants you to answer a question, particularly if they get an answer that will give them a soundbite or something like that, and then guess who jumps on top of that answer? The media.
Yeah. Or their opponents.
Or their opponents,
yeah,
sure.
And a lot of these guys look at these opportunities as almost a chance of putting their foot in their mouth. And they want to be so cautious not to answer and hurt themselves, and yet they're also not letting the voters know why they're running. And it's frustrating from that point of view.
And understand, we've got different objectives here. Number one, you've got a candidate out there who does not want to reveal all of his plans, strategies, and peak too early or get into discussion with the media who may or may not be, who knows on what side. Mm-hmm. On the other hand, you've got the media who wants to know the answer to everything. They want to know what Dick's investigating in the DA's office, what the clues are, and things like that. They want to know what's on a politician's mind, what his stand is.
Because that's what the
natural dynamic that goes on.
I have to say that we are asking questions so that people can know the answers, and it is the media's job to fully vet an idea that comes from a candidate as well as the candidate himself. So, yeah, we're going to ask questions from different people on that idea.
And as a candidate, Dick's been a very successful candidate. You've got to be obviously constantly alert because, Sam, reporters can do things like what you did in the interview with Dean, which is give a false premise to begin with. Well, you opposed the No Child Left Behind Act, and he had to correct you on that. But if he had not been paying attention, what would have happened then?
Okay, but now, Dick, you've run successfully now several times. I've never noticed you be shy on giving your opinion on anything. Why can you do it and others can't?
I really don't know. All I ever ask the media, and you got to look at it this way, and the same thing I told our folks in the office, the media people are working people. And they're going to come to you to get information, or they're going to write their own. I mean, you got two choices here, so we give them all the information we can. Sometimes we can't. And I've found the best practice, totally, as you just pointed out, is I just answer the questions, and I just come out and tell them what I believe or what I think, and we go from there. And I never get confused, and when people try to twist me, I watch that all the time. Because people will come back at you and say, well, gee, what about this? And you go, that isn't what I said. Well, let's make sure what I said here before we get started. And one thing I want to do is compliment the media, at least in this end of the state. I don't know, I haven't dealt that much with them in Clark County, although my contacts down there have been good. But the media here, all in all, are pretty decent folks, and they don't try to mess with you. And that's great.
And you know why? Because you're honest. I mean, whether we agree or disagree with what you say, you come out and say it. We know where you stand. And my advice to any politicians planning to come on this program in the next year and a half, don't come on here and not be prepared to answer questions, because we're going to ask them and we're going to point it out if you don't. You had an interesting story, Anjeanette, in the Reno Gazette-Journal today about a little retribution. You want to follow up a little bit on that with the legislature?
Right. Well, there's a citizen in Reno. She spent most of her life in Tonopah. She's trying to get funding for a state park in central Nevada, this beautiful, pristine area in the desert. Her name's Andrea Braddock, I believe. And so she's never approached the legislature before. She learned how to be a lobbyist. She sent off an email to Assemblywoman Christian Giuliani asking for some support of a bill that she had got her assemblyperson to sponsor. And Assemblywoman June Giuliani sent back a rather curt email saying, you know, sorry, but
standard email, excuse me for her, go ahead.
Your representative didn't support the taxes in 2003. He won't be benefiting from the surplus this year. So the debate is whether or not that was kind of an attitude shared by the majority, or Assemblywoman Christian Giuliani, being who she is, rather blunt, and she speaks her mind on issues.
Speaking her mind honestly on an issue that she felt strongly about. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you can.
and now we're going to jump on her for that.
I'm not.
No, I'm just wondering.
But I think it's interesting that it points out that when you take stands at the legislature and you're in the minority, there's going to be payback, and that's exactly what occurred.
Well, it points out that that is the way the dynamic of the legislature is, whether it's minority, majority, or whatever. If you take stands, you're going to make somebody angry, almost universally.
Always.
Yeah.
But when partisan politics gets in the way of good public decisions, that's when there's a problem, and that's one of those cases.
Well, that's been a problem forever.
I know. It's the frustration of it, yeah.
You know what the difference is, though, between the time Bill sat in the legislature and a few years ago and today is nobody would have come out and said that bluntly.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't support us, so we're going to burn you.
Yeah,
that's where we got to leave it. We're out of time. We'll be right back.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
High-tech companies demand perfect world amenities. They require clean, reliable power, state-of-the-art fiber optic communications, and clean water sources. In a perfect world, companies would have immediate access to rail and interstate freeways. There would be 4-lane expressways that shorten shipping times and provide convenient commute routes for valued employees. Well, the future is now, and it's here. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends is the Tamarack Junction. Play over 480 of the hottest slots and video poker games. Enjoy hot times and sizzling food specials at Sully's Sports Bar, Grill, and Nightclub. Watch your favorite game on one of our jumbo high-definition plasma TVs. Enjoy great food 24 hours a day in the Dining Car Restaurant. Or sample the best hot and cold sandwiches in the Whistle Stop Deli. The Tamarack Junction is your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway. Yeah.
My family started this business 27 years ago.
We work hard to serve our customers and our community.
But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof. Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%, lobby for your interests, and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
Don't forget, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers online at nevadanewsmakers.com.
And tomorrow we have an extended interview with Jim Rogers, the now nonpartisan candidate possibly for governor.
We'll see you tomorrow.